So if I was to describe the interior of a non-SI 8th Gen Civic, I could use one word to describe the entire thing, and that would be gray. We've got gray carpet with gray floor mats, gray seats, gray dash, a lot of gray everything. What do you think, Slick? Slick agrees. So today we're going to do something about it. Welcome to Garb Car Garage. What's up, people? I'm Dave. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Garb Car Garage. We're back here with our 8th Gen Civic Garber 2, and today we're going to be doing some interesting things with the interior. So the one thing I despise about this car is the absolute gray on gray on gray on gray on gray on gray on gray interior. Nothing looks cheaper than a car that's completely cloth and completely gray. So what I'm going to be doing in today's video is showing you how to disassemble the interior of this car, because we got some exciting things that are going to be going on underneath the carpet, underneath the scenes, and we're going to be completely redoing the interior in a somewhat custom, somewhat OEM plus manner. So first thing we're going to do is get into the car, rip the front seats out, rip the rear seats out, and have a look at what our next steps are. Thanks for tuning in. So the first seat I'm going to remove is the passenger seat. The nice thing about the Civic is there's no power seats, everything is manual, so you can just slide it forward by hand. There's 4 bolts holding the seat in, 2 in the front, 2 in the rear, a connector underneath, and this thing should lift right out. Seat bolt should be a 14, so we got a 14 mil on the driver. We're going to get these things removed. 14 mil bolt right there. That's 2 front seat bolts removed. Now we're going to slide the seat all the way forward so we can have access to the rear bolts. So the rear bolts are just under these covers. So we'll pop the covers off, unbolt them, and that should allow us to remove the seat. One, 2 rear bolts. Now we just have to remove the seat belt from the side of the seat, and this thing will lift right out of the car. Seats tip forward, gives us access to all the connectors underneath. Plug these guys. Yellow again is always airbag, and the battery is still disconnected from when we changed the steering wheel. Cover the airbag one, pull down on the black tab, it releases. And we just have to remove that from the seat. I'll get a trim tool, and the seat's ready to come out. Just look at the dog hair underneath this seat. I mean, even if you're not changing your seats, it doesn't hurt as a cleaning procedure to take it out every once in a while and just vacuum underneath it. Gross.
Let's run a train. Let's run a train.
And now we're going to do the exact same thing to the driver's seat. Generally, the biggest problem with removing the driver's seat is having the steering wheel in the way. Luckily, since we've installed that quick release, we're able to remove it.
Let's run a train.
Watch that for me, Slick.
Let's run a train. Let's run a train. Let's run a train. Let's run a train.
I don't know what that is lodged in there. That is nasty. I wish you guys could smell how bad this car actually stinks. Both front seats are out. We're now going to move to the back, remove the bench seat that we removed last time during the speaker video, get the side panels off, and then start to remove the center console after that. So now we're going to remove the back seats. 10 mil. So now I want to remove these rear seats. So there's a 12 mil on each side. And the last one, so the 12 jammed here between the seats. So we can get the extension on there. And now this should come right out. So that's it. That's every seat in the vehicle removed. Now we're going to move on to removing the center console and then get onto the interior trim panels. We're going to be removing the center console now. On the side of it, there are little plugs up towards the firewall area. And in the center here, underneath the armrest, we've got two 10 mils or Phillips screws. So we're going to remove those, remove the trim bezel around the shifter, and it should come right out. That is the trim piece. Okay, so open this guy up. Pull the tab. You can see them down there. They should be 10s. Nope, they are 8s. And then two down here. So I believe there's one more fastener underneath this panel. So we're going to pop it down. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so now we're just going to pull it backwards. It should slide right out. Now there is a wiring harness that runs underneath here, so we'll have to disconnect that. Okay, so you can see the harness runs up inside and then goes into that 12 volt connection there. So I want to unplug the 12 volt, disconnect the harness, and get this thing out. Well, I'm an idiot, so if I'd actually looked before I ripped that other plug out, there is a main connector plug for the center console, which means that I did not need to remove the rest of this harness. Sometimes it helps to look a little bit deeper into things before you start ripping and tearing. Not a huge deal, everything should pop back together, so I'm going to rip this out, then we're on to the interior trim panels. So these interior trim panels are the next thing to go. Continuing on, removing the Sea Gray. So these guys you just pull up, and they come right out. There's a Phillips screw underneath here. So for this upper panel here, it's much of the same. Pull the weather stripping back, pull the panel off, and it should come right out. Seatbelt should run right through it. So if you watch the speaker video, the back panels are exactly the same. We've already taken out those pain in the ass airbag clips, so just be pulling, it should come down. So this panel should be very similar to that last one in the video. It's got that same style airbag retention clip on it. So basically we're just gonna pull the weather stripping back, yeet this panel off. I'm not keeping it anyway, so I really don't care if we're gonna break it. But I want it off, so we're gonna get the pulling, tearing, and hopefully it comes off with relative ease. So it's going to want to fight me. So it looks like we're going to have to take this off to get this off. Oh, but by the way, that pounding on it will sometimes release that airbag retention clip. So by giving it a good shot, it pushed this clip back in and allowed it to be released. Now, I'm not sure if it can be reset afterwards, but at least it's off for the time being. To release the upper portion, we have to remove the lower portion. So this should just pull out. There is a Phillips screw there. I love blind screws that you can't see. I love blind screws and trying to hold a camera. Now it should fold. So yeah, it just broke when I pulled on it. I don't care because that panel's being replaced anyways, and it's junk. It was just really stuck. Now to remove the upper one without breaking it, so we'll need that. There's a Phillips screw here. Here you should just be able to pull, and hopefully this one's not going to snap in half like all the other panels on this shit garbage. You have one connector there. A few more Phillips up there. Now there's usually 2 bolts underneath the radio holding it in, but I removed those a while ago, and that'll show me the last bolt. And there's the last bolt there. Put that out. This should just lift right off. Yeah. unplug the rest of the radio and remove it, as it's already hanging and it's going to be in my way. 3 connectors on the back. And now we've got our HVAC controls, hazard button, and the last of the other clips. That's a lot of junk. Exact same thing on this side. The last 2 panels left in the car are these lower trim panels. The kick panels at the front, they're the same as the other ones. You just pull and they'll come out. Okay, so I want to start removing the carpet, but first I've got to remove the dead pedal. I believe that's all that's left holding the carpet in, so I can just pull it out afterwards. So there's a couple of screws that hold the dead pedal in. Once those are removed, I'll be able to pull the carpet right out. There's the dead pedal. So we've got it looks like a flathead up there. And we get in there. And here, got an Allen key, so stick that in there, like that. We'll give that a turn. And that's that. And that's what the carpet once looked like when it was new. See the difference in the pile to what it's become. Yeah, I start pulling this down, and hopefully this will just come out without much of a hitch. Some more fun things. I don't think there's a way to get this out without taking the gas pedal out. So looks like we got a couple bolts up there, one there, one above there. I can't really show you because of the way that camera is, but it's right on top in the connector. I'll remove those and that should give us access to the rest of the floor here and be able to pull the carpet out. I can't even see it. Never mind, get the camera in there. All right, so on the back of the gas pedal, pull the carpet down. You'll see it's anchored to the floor by 2 10 mils. So I'm gonna pull these out. This one looks like it's plastic. 10 mils are removed. Now there is a locking tab, holds the plastic pedal to the floor. And that central locking tab there, and try and push in, and that should release it. There it is. Gas pedal out. Giant pain in the ass. Before we go any further, just look at that dog hair, just matted. So gross. All right, so a couple more fun things to note before this carpet can be completely removed is it runs underneath the parking brake cables and underneath that bracket that supports the dashboard. I'm gonna remove that cross member and that should allow me to pull the carpet out there and up and over. Parking brake cables, I don't necessarily want to remove everything to get them out. So I might remove that stabilizer, see if I have enough room to pull them through here and just slide the carpet up. All right, so that should let me slide through there and onto this disaster. All right, that came off with only extremely mild inconvenience, so far the best part. So with that removed and the center removed, I should be able just to pull this out. So with that bracket removed, still have to unplug this main connector from that airbag module, this connector here, and there's one other connector that runs down. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's a Torx, and it holds in a bunch of ground cables. So I'm gonna pull that out, and that should be it. There we go. Okay, so the harness has been separated to 2 parts. So I'm gonna hop back out, should be able to pull the whole carpet out. Finally! All right, so So the interior is entirely removed from Garber 2 here. We are down to the floors. We've got the dash half stripped out of it. The only thing left are the glove box and door panels, which we will address at a later date. But for now, we're gonna get the floor cleaned up and get it prepped because we're gonna be laying down some sound deadening and then a brand new carpet. Then we'll start putting the interior back together. It's going to be amazing looking by the time we're done. So I'm hoping that you've learned something. I'm hoping you, through my struggles, figured out how to remove the interior from your Civic if you're looking to upgrade to a different carpet, to a different interior. If you're doing certain things, you don't necessarily need to go as far and as deep as I did, but at least you see the removal process in its entirety to get down to where I am today. So I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of their schedules to watch me today. There's going to be a lot more cool content coming. Obviously, this car does have to go back together. I'd like to thank DJ Smokey, the official music provider here at Garb Car Garage, and I'm hoping to see you in the next video. We're going to be doing some way more cooler things on this car. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one.